Hello, good evening. Now, with a little bit of luck, we might be live in YouTube. Facebook, for some reason, is just not playing ball with me tonight. So I couldn't multi-stream to both. So I have posted a little note up on the Facebook side to say, join me on the YouTube. So I'll just hang around for just a few seconds and just see if some people will come across and join. I know people watch on replay, but this is my usual Sunday evening. A few issues tonight, and then this just to cap it off when I finally got to try and connect. So apologies for that, but hey, we are here and it should be able to be seen on YouTube. So I'm going to get you over to the table. Just pop that camera on. That one, and that one. Oh, let's turn him back to front here, look. There we go. So we are here. We're not quite straight, but hey, we'll get that table. So I hate the lines on the grid board. Just cause me a little bit of angst when it goes on the hub. So I'm going to be going to the mini catalogue tonight. I'll just move that over a little bit. And I'm going to be using a bundle in here that is from, there's two sets in here. There's the Regency Park and the Fancy Flora. I've got markers in both here, and as you'll see as I kind of go along, I'm just going to move you back a bit because I am a little bit too close here. I'm leaning across the table. So here's one piece of some very gorgeous glimmer paper. So we're going to go to the next section. We're going to look at these two pages. There is a funny tale. Hi, lovely, you could come across. Yeah, well, I don't know why. It's just not recognising Facebook at all. I can put a post on my phone, but I just can't get a live streaming through. So this one is another one. I'm just going to line these up because I use these for page markers. Line these up along the top there. So this suite here, I want to point out how a little bit of a faux pas at the weekend identified the fact that there are two suites very similar. They both have glimmer paper. The papers are kind of like similar as well. So I'm going to go along with this one. I'm going to be using these papers, the Fancy Flora, the 6-inch. I'm going to show you those shortly. And these shimmer papers. Love the shimmer. And we'll see that in a sec, these ones here. So then I'm going to go to the other set, and you'll see what I mean by how similar they are. So if we turn they out, these are a little bit brighter, but they're kind of the florals, and they too have shimmer paper, but in slightly different colours. So we have two different ones there. Now, when you see them totally side by side, they are totally different sort of designs, but it's easy to see how that one, that one, and that one, and that one. So I had a little, I thought I had some wrong items for a customer in my order, and it was me. It was me. So those are the shimmers. Now I'm going to show you those first because these are beautifully smooth. Hi ladies, joining me. Nice to see you on here. Thank you. If Jean watches this on replay, she will know who she is, which Jean. And these are very, very smooth. Can you see the way that the paper is shining on the light there? It is not. There's no granules on here at all. So for those of you who don't like glitter shedding everywhere over the table, these are beautifully smooth, and that means they will cut nicely and they will die cut nicely. Okay, so I just wanted to point those out first close to the camera. So pop those to one side at the moment. I might use one of those sheets, I might not. Next up we have these are the Fancy Floral 6x6 Designer Series papers. You get 48 in a pack, but I've taken one of each design out because it's easier to see on a 6-inch piece. Okay, so I'm going to go through these one at a time so you can see both sides of the papers. So these are beautiful colours. This is the sheet I'm using tonight because I love the colours. I love the soft succulent, and I think it's not listed as one of the colours in the catalogue, but the evergreen is coming through there as well. Okay, so that's the first one, and that's the back. So you obviously have those colours coming through. Then we have, this is bringing in, I'll just bring back that catalogue. The different colours are listed on the bottom there. I think it's page 17. No, maybe not. Maybe the one before is that one. So they are listing the names of the colours are all along the bottom of the catalogue here. So this blue is the Orchid Oasis. Okay, and pick those up. Can't get them off the mat. So they're different colours along there. Are Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Soft Succulent, Balmy Blue, Orchid Oasis and Fresh Freesia. So these blues in here are gorgeous. Can't wait to play with those. And the greens again on the back. These look like they look like a bit like petals, but they're actually brush strokes, brush marks on there. And some more brush marks on the back. Very abstract-y type of design. But the florals are gorgeous. Now looking at this one actually looks like as though it could be goldies coming through there. I can see this done with some nice gold embossing powders. I'm itching to try that one. And the same on the back, those brush strokes as arty designs. And then this one here, that could be a pond with some flowers and lilies on there and some lily pads and then some yellow flowers and some sky there, all brush marks again. And some more, the same sort of textures on there and the paler ones on the back. And again, those colours just look so gorgeous together. I love those shades. Okay, and the stronger yellows and Calypso on the back. More, they look like literally somebody's got a paint palette and just put little swipes on there. Gorgeous textures, and I love the varied tones on here. So you're going through all the way through the shades. And that's a nice piece with the whole floral look. And the wash on the back, and this one again with the Starry Sky, did I say? No, Orchid. Looks like the darker ones again. Like I said about Evergreen, it's not in there, but it looks like the Starry Sky and the navy could come through on those nicely. And of course Fresh Freesia, and then multiple colours on that one. Oh, is there two there? Yes. Oh, they're nice. I can see those being done nicely. Greys and yellows always look nice together. And those ones, lastly, again, some smaller pieces on there. But like I say, I'm going to be using this one tonight, so we'll leave that one out. And where did I put it? Here. I am going to be using we were talking yesterday, I had a team meeting yesterday, and we were talking about some layouts. And I used one of this, I just showed some round, and they've taken some photos to play with them. So I'm going to be using this one. They are 6 by 6, so by cutting it in half, you've got 2 pieces even. But first of all here, the first cut is going to be 1.5 off this side. So I like to look at the paper first and see, I can see my trim, there we go, and see which way I would like for my smaller strip. So do I want that to be that way? Do I want it to be that way? And through the middle? The papers are all similar, and these ones are lucky that they do have some nice pieces both sides. How should we trim that? If I trim that piece off, I've got a bit of the lights on there as well. Yeah, they're pretty even Stevens, aren't they? I might just try a different combination. That one, I think. Oh, decisions. I like that because it's in the middle. So I think I'll go with that one. I'm going to take 1.5 inches off that side. Okay. Now these layouts I'm going to show you. That's the bottom piece there first. We'll lay that on the template. And then this way I'm going to cut it in half. So it's going to make 2 even pieces. So these templates can be used for note cards or for full-size cards. I've done both. In fact, I've got a video. Oh, right. That's okay. You're all right, Linda. Yes, I don't know why. Facebook's just not playing ball today. Facebook does seem to have more and more glitches these days. And that was another topic of conversation yesterday, in that the issues that Facebook seems to be having more and more. Oh, I've only got 2 out there, have I? Oh, there's one. So I've got my note cards there. I've done the video that I've done a long while ago. It shows the same layout with these, but it's actually got. I'm just gonna move you up a bit. There we go. It's on full-size cards. So tonight I thought I would do note cards, and then because the video obviously will be on YouTube as well, but I'll bring up the other video and put in the link underneath the video, and on the Facebook page I can upload it back. And so you can see 2 different ways of using it, one with full-size cards and one with note cards. So these pieces here will fit nicely onto those cards there. Okay, and then this third piece here, I'll leave that. Let me just take those off and let you, so you can pause that one if you want to take a screenshot of that. you can take one of that. The strip here, you can trim off one of these pieces to fit onto the size of your note card. Okay, so what I'm probably going to do actually, instead of taking off one end, I'd like to see a little bit of that colour both ends. So I'll probably take a little bit off here and a bigger piece off there. But we'll just pop one inside there. Okay, we'll take that aside for a minute. I bone folded these two. I've buried my bone folder. And there. So that's the second one. So we'll put one piece in there. Live tonight, they're sliding everywhere. And that one for this piece. Okay, doke. So that I'm going to line those up in over the side there, and decide with each one what we'd like to do. So my first one, I'm going to bring on the stamp set. Show you what I'm going to use first. I've got two thoughts here. These are the papers the stamp and punch that I was going to use. They aren't the ones that go with this set, but I wanted to show you how they can all interact. But the thing with this set is there are no greetings. So I am going to bring in another set. I'm not sure if I used this the other day. I don't think I have used it yet, actually. This is a fairly new one, but these greetings on here also have a lovely die in here. This one here that will go over the greetings. So I'm thinking I'm going to try it with those and see how we get on. Okay, so that's my plan. And the detail on here, the flowers, I was going to use with the punch. So we won't use the leaves tonight, we'll use the flowers to decorate the embellishment, the pieces. So we'll take one at a time. Now this is going to fit on here. I've got all the corresponding cardstocks beside me. I'm just going to pop one of each of the colours out of the packet. I won't take a whole sheet out because it'll be a bit of a waste. But I'll take that one out. And that one. And then this one. This is a smaller piece. I've got a couple of pieces in there. So I've got these three pieces. So you can imagine that will fit nicely. We could have the coastal, the Calypso coral, sorry, like that with a tiny little accent beside it. And that would bring out the oranges in there. But if we were to change it to that one, that could contrast equally as nicely. And then if we go for the dark, you could see that would be a little bit more dark on there, but then I'd probably turn this round so that the lighter piece catches your eye first, so it's more of a contrast. Okay, and leave the darker, like a heavier image at the back there. So you've got three different pieces. I'm going to use a different piece on each of the cards so you can see how the combinations work. Okay, so while I'm left on that one, I think I will use that first. Okay, just going to swap out my piece of card here and use that shape. This one here, I'm going to use that one because it's a longer piece. So because these pieces measure, bring the template back, they measure 3 inches by 4.5. Okay, they fill that hole there. So I want to be 1/8 of an inch bigger than that. So let's go for 3 1/8 and 4 5/8. So 3 and 5 and 4 and 5/8 first. So there's my 4.5, and then I go up 1/8. That might be enough. We'll see. And then line it up on the 3, and then go up 1/8. Okay, that will leave you 1/16 either side. So we're going to try that first and see how that's going to go. So get all the bases all layered. Because this is a heavier colour, I don't want it to be too prominent. Okay, so we'll pop that one on there like so. That looks just nice. It's got that tiny little accent, and we're going to go with that one. I'm just going to show you. I don't think that won't fit. The punch won't fit on there. Might be a bit too close to the edges. So I'm going to pop this over the back here. That one isn't playing ball. One of these I left out with the lid off overnight. So I just need to unclog the nozzle. Okay, a little drizzle around there, and the good old tweezers. Whoops. Turn that one over. do with a lighter background on here. Place that on there so you can see where the lines are. The dark against the dark matte don't always help. Just moving that slightly. That's looking good on there. And then we'll put this one flat because I think I'll put the embellishments on pads. Okay, so that's going to fit nicely. I do, now we've got white on white. I'm going to place that in the centre and just let that slide. The Tombow lets me have a bit of wiggle room. And that just on its own is a base card. What I'd like to show you is the fact that with templates like this, you can make up a whole load of cards like this with some just layouts, and then when you need a quick card you can grab an embellishment and just pop an embellishment on there separately. It's good to have some stable cards, stable pieces that you can use. So I'm just going to decide which one of these I want to have the coral and which one are the coastal, what did I say, coral, calypso coral. So one I'm going to have the calypso and one I'm going to have this one. Swap those over, just see what they're like. That's still, they both blend in a little bit, don't they? I think it's going to be that way and that way. Okay, so I'm going to pop those in the trimmer. We are live, so I can't fast forward like I do on YouTube's normally. We'll go back to the drawing board here. We've got our 3 inches and we're going to go up 1/8. I mean, you can use this at any width. I'm going to have in 3/16, just that little tad bit bigger. And then do the same the other way. So it's 4.5 inches and you're going to go up 3/16. As long as you do the same border. That's too short for starters. It's 4.5, isn't it? 4.5 plus 3/16. Can tell I'm a centimetre girl at heart. There we go. Wish me luck this time. There we go. It's just giving you that slightly bigger border and it just shows off the colour a little bit more. So that's going to be that one. I can stick that down. And then this one will be the strip. So this will be the strip down here. Now we're going to need that to be, it's 1.5 inches. So then we're going to go up 3/16. Making sure it's straight all the way down. And I'm just going to leave it at that at the moment because I'll trim those down in a little bit. Now, this would be a little bit of a waste, but this shimmer, would it be a waste? I could actually line that like that, couldn't I? Let's use this. I got this out because I knew the colours would match. 1.5 and 3/16. Okay, we've got to use it because it's so gorgeous. There we go. So we will discard that one and we'll use this one as a strip. Okay, so our card, these cards here are 3.5 by 5. So we need to cut this to 5 inches. Okay, if I stuck it on first and trim the ends off, I waste a bit. I know it's small, but hey, there's a piece there we could use. So that's that one done. And then this one, I want to try and get it in the middle here. So I want to just centre it onto my cutter and my 5 inches and see where I want to make that first cut. I'm going to be cutting more off that end than this end. I think there might look nice. Okay, and then turn it round and have the 5 inches in that. Okie doke. Yeah, that's going to look good. I think that's all my cutting. Just going to have a quick slurp because I've had a little bit of a tickly throat today. Oh, wheat black tea with my lemon in it. And Maria made that for me just before I came on air. So I'm going to pop that one on there. We're going to mat these up together. Now, I'm still a bit wary of anything glittery. That the Tombow is on foil and shiny things. It's not so, well, it isn't, it is good, but you just have to let it dry for longer. There's more of a risk of it sliding. So I'm just using some tear and tape here. Okay, and it does what it says on the tin. You literally put your nail up against it and just let that tear. What am I using for envelopes, Rhonda? Good question, because they are here. The note cards actually come in, I keep these in the old wooden cases. Sadly, we can't get those anymore. But I have these set up for ages, and I put all of my note cards in here. So I've got the whole stack of them, and then I've got 3 note cards here, envelopes here. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thanks for reminding me, Rhonda. I often forget the envelopes, because any pieces of spare paper you can actually put over the back here as well. So we can always decorate those. So I've made some little wings there by tearing a little bit, tucking a little bit back on each of those. I'm going to position that in the middle. Okay, the middle left to right. And when I'm happy, I'm just going to wind that down there. So it's lined up perfectly. If I'm happy with that, I can then remove the wings, just slide them out. And it's only held in those 2 corners until you're sure that it's right. Okay, so I do like that effect. And again, decide which way up you'd like it. If there's just a right and a wrong, or a top and a bottom, there isn't really much difference. So I'm going to just adhere that one down first. So actually making 3 note cards tonight. Just show you, I line this up on the grid mat. And then whatever anchor point you want to give that, I'm going to give it one of those blocks, which is 1 centimetre. That should be lined up smart and straight. There we go. So we've got a bit glimmer on that one. We've got this one already done, and then we've got one more here. Now these can also go landscape as well. If you wanted to gut something out of the middle, then by all means do. Because I'm on camera, I probably won't tonight. I haven't got anything lined up ready. Okie doke. And then we're going to get to use the stamp and the punch next. So this is just going to go in the centre. Bit of wiggle room. There we go. Thank you, Rhonda. Love note cards. Note cards are fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one in the same position. And then we'll line them all up, and then we'll embellish. Okay, again, I like to have, I don't like top heavy things. I like it lighter at the top and darker at the bottom. Okay, that's great. And then you could also put this horizontal as well, landscape. Okay, so I might even try doing that because it's just abstract designs. Get them all together. So this was our 2 panels at the top, and then our 1 along the bottom. And you've made all of those 3 out of 1 6x6 square. Okay, so let's go over, get them out of the camera view. Oh, Linda, you'll have to have another one. We'll catch up at some point. I will come see you, meet in Norwich or something. So I'm going to bring this one back, and I'm going to bring this one back. So for the flowers, I have the Stamparatus ready. I'm going to use it. I like it that way on. So I'm going to grab a piece of white card. Need a little bit bigger than that. We've got a herd of elephants in the hallway, so sorry about the noise. So pop that one there and there. Now these are going to lay on top of each other. You can layer them up, or you can have 2 different designs. I am going to use this one, and I'm going to just watercolour that in. So the outline will be a strong colour. So I'm going to use the Calypso on here, this one. Okay. Because I'm only doing a single layer, I could actually just pop this on a block quickly. because I've got the Stamparatus out, I will use that one. So I'm going to stick that one here. I like to look at the punch and see which way round it's going to punch from the edge of the card. So if I was to go that way, the punch wouldn't come in all the way to the end. Okay, so if I go that way, coming from that end, I need to have the big one that side. Okay, and that would go that way on. Okay, just to know which way in your card's going to come to the punch. So I'll pick that one up. So this is a brand new stamp set. I've not used this one before. It's straight out of the press. Look, all of those images, I've just mounted them for you. So it's sticking to the polymer's sticking slightly to the card. Okay, just gently on there. And I'm going to press that down. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. And because we've got two cards, I'm going to walk this down the plate. Oops, Daisy, bring you up again. A bit showing in there. I'm going to walk this down the plate, and I'm going to just slide this one over, and I'm going to walk it down here until I can get another image on, which is going to be there. Oh, not quite. So what I'm going to do is turn this round and go back to where I was, and we'll get one in from that way as well. Just to maximise what we can get out of the cardstock. Okay, so we'll come, oh, that's not quite covered. Because I'm near the hinge, I was trying to not catch this piece on here. Okay, lovely, a little bit more weight this side. There we go. And I will do the other corner as well. When you have a square of card like this, you can cut, then you know you're going to come in from each of the angles, and it will be okay for the punch to get to. Okay, swing that over, wipe those pieces off, but they're not in the way. So that's finished on there now. So if I leave those there, take the magnets off, I can clean that later. Okie doke. So now I just want to grab my Winky Stella. There we go. And I find it easier to colour whilst it's a whole big piece of card. Okay, I'm just going to squeeze this through. This is a full strength doodad, Winky Stella. Just want to see until I can see some of the mica in here. That's right, I was looking for my glasses. Tell me where I put my glasses. Still got my ink pad out here. If I need it, I can take some more ink, but I shouldn't think I'll need to. Trying not to get my head in the way. But all I'm going to do is just drag the liquid that's already there, the ink that's impregnated into the card, and I'm just going to colour that in. I might not need them on. Okay, so as I drag this in with the Wink of Stella, it's bleeding that the colour in a bit like a watercolour does. Okay, so you can turn that as you go and come round from the edges. You're bringing that colour in. Okay, so you're just draining that colour in. It's being very, very subtle, but if I bring it up to the camera, you'll be able to see the difference. So these ones I haven't done, those ones I have. So, and then you'll get a shimmer on there as well. If I just rock that a little bit so you can see, not quite. There's enough colour on there for me to be nice and dainty, dragging that colour around. Okay, I'll do one of the smaller ones with the ink pad and squeezing the ink pad. Okay, so they are nice and sparkly, and then finish off with the colour centre. So you can see the difference by comparison to that one and that one. Okay, there's quite a lot of colour bled out of that. Okay, so then the other way you can do it is by taking your, oh, what's in there? I don't know what that is. There's a piece of paper or something in there. So the other way to do it is by grabbing the ink pad and squeezing it hard, like so, and then you'll get a little puddle in there, and you can equally as easily just pick up a little bit of that, not too strong, and then just colour in with the pen. You can come out from the centre. I'm just going to bring that through a little bit more. Nib needs to be wet for it to be able to flow. Okay, that one's a little bit dark there for me, but I will bring that back in a sec with some, by colouring it, by covering it, sorry. Okay, so we're just taking a tiny little bit of that just for a couple of darker ones. And move it around. It's so easy to do it while you've got a bigger piece of card. Once you've punched them, they're tiny little pieces, you've got nothing to hold it down. Okay, so those ones are with the Wink of Stella. I'm now going to grab in the watercolour pens and the water painters. I'm going to just squeeze one of those through so you can see with the water in it. Oh, I would, but that hasn't got any water in it. That has a little bit of a bigger nib than I would have liked. And someone nicely has someone's put this away not cleaned. Look, somebody's used purple on there. Yes. I never do that. I always clean my brushes. So sorry about that, ladies and gents, whoever's watching. But it's good to show you. It's good to squeeze those out first and make sure that ink has all gone. If you don't clean the brushes after use, they will stain once they're washed straight away. Because it's a water-based ink, these aren't too bad for retain the colour. Okay, but I am just conscious that that's got some colour still coming through. Let's see how we go. So this one, because it's a water-based, it will bring the colour through a little bit quicker. Okay, you've got a little bit of a puddle there, so you can bring that colour through. So come this end of the card, got it all over my fingers now, and just drag that in with the water brush. So the Wink of Stella is lovely, it gives a bit of sheen, but I also like the water brush because it is more fluid. Okay, so I'm just bringing those around, picking up that excess. Just a couple of different ways of doing it. Okay, so I'll just do these quickly. And again, artistic license, you don't have to stay between the lines, you don't have to colour them solid. You can just let the water flow. Okay. Don't ever squeeze your water or your Wink of Stella over your project, what you're painting, because inevitably it will suddenly just blob where you don't want it. You must give it a go. Yes, absolutely. You don't have to have the colours to be able to paint, you see, just with an ink pad. I've also praised the mini uninked spots. We have Stampin' Up! Have some white, plain, just clear. They're not inked spots, they're little cubes that we get like we get in the kits. I think, Linda, you might have had kits from me before. Then you buy the re-inker with it, your favourite colours, and just buy, they come in a pack of 5. So if you just buy the re-inker, you can then put a drop of re-inker in here as well instead of squeezing it, because the little ones are smaller. But it just flows nicely with the water painters. Okay, and then colour that piece in the middle. Okey-doke, so that's that one. Some sparklies and some non-sparklies, and then I will mix them up later. So now the punch will come in. I can get to it from this way. If I'd have done it that way, I wouldn't have been able to get in. So that's why I just like to line them up first. They are delicate, but you can get different effects. You can make them darker or lighter according to your taste. Some people like the strong colours. Just trying to line this up. This is the first time I've used it, so Just lining these up. But one punch is punching all 3 images on the stamp. Okay, it's quite neat. Of course, we want those ones out, and that one. And from this angle, do the same again. So because I've got shimmer, but one of the soft succulent, the green shimmer paper, I'll use plain ones on that. So I'll pop those on that one. The shimmer's there behind it. The beauty of these is you can mix and match, so you could do different tones of flowers, and depending on what papers you're using, just use the colours that tone in nicely. So let's put 3 on that one. Okay, that's all my punching. Little bits all covered me. So greeting is next. So I'm going to use this same paper, and I'm going to use the greetings on here. Look, we've got thanks and we've got hello. So if we did one of each, I put them on the block, one each side. So pop that one on there. Because I'm going to die cut them with that lovely angled stamp, die, I'm not actually going to worry too much about seeing through on here. So the colours I'm going to use, there is one that is more darker than the others, so I'm going to use the Calypso to brighten that up. I'm going to pop that one there. Beautiful, nice solid image. And then we will use the evergreen. Oh, jiggle you. Yeah, you've got a couple of kits. Linda, the spots that you get in them, that is how our uninked ones come. They are those little spots, but they're just plain, just for you to put on whatever colour you want. You notice that one I held in place just to get that, let the ink transfer through. But I'm just going to switch this one over because I think that is evergreen, but it's more like a soft succulent. So I'm going to swap these over and I'm going to pop it on here. I think I need to ink that up a few times. Cut the edge off so that it's perfectly straight. Anchor it down. And just need to clean that first. If I put that on there now, obviously it's going to be a bit mucky. I treated myself to another chamois. It will soon get stained like the rest of them, but whilst I've got a new one, it's nice to keep nice and clean for a little while. Okey-doke. So this one's going to lay on here. I'm going to pick that up. And then we can ink this up. Like I say, if I do this like I do when I use black, I like to have a lovely solid image on it. And I didn't bring my puck over today. It's over in the other container on the trolley. So you can see it's done it again. But if I layer this up, you hear me talk about layering up. If I go on there again, just press down. I'll make sure that I re-ink this one before you see me next with it. It's a lovely way of getting jet black images if you've got something that you want to be really, really bold. I think three is probably enough, but I will do one more. Again, the Stamparatus, your regulars on here with me, but the Stamparatus just keeps them in the same place. There we go. What a difference. Okay, I might use that one as being a soft succulent one, so turn them over there and rough cut those to get through the cut and boss. Go through the middle of those. And I have little baby cut and emboss here. Bring you over. Now I'll share this tip again because some of my team yesterday hadn't heard this one. When Stampin' Up! Give you the instructions on here, they say for the baby, they say to use the one on the bottom, which is a white plate, and then the cutting plate on top. But this is for the embossing ones. So you would normally use the white one and 2 of these. Okay. If you use the number 3 plate for cutting instead of the number 1, you will notice a difference. They are side on side. You can hardly notice. It's a gnat's whisker difference, but the actual processing of it and wheeling it through is so much easier. It really does make a difference. I'm going to lay my die on and look for my tape just to anchor that down. Scotch tape is good, the repositionable one, because you can just get it perfectly where you need and it'll peel off your card. Okay, one there and one there. I'll run that through. Now, this is what I plan to do. I am just going to check on here that this is going to work across the width. Oh yes, that will work. That one's going to go on the coral one. We've got 3 here done, so we're ready to go with 3 greetings. This will be the lighter one. Straight and in the middle. I think that's good. So, demos on here. Has anybody got any of those with the, from the new set? Any of the papers or any of the 2 stamp sets? I really love the papers from Celebration with this stamp set. It's really nice. And I can't wait to use that. I've got a tutorial I'm going to write with it in the next couple of weeks. I'm going away the 3rd week, so I will aim to get it written to be using as a class. Okay, so we'll take that off quickly and just pop that back in the box so I don't lose it. Easily done. In the bin, shut the case, one on there. So, where should we go? We'll do this one first. So this one and this one will be very similar. But I did say that we could actually turn this round and use it on landscape. So if we wanted to, we could have something like so. But I'm thinking that might be nice like that down here. And this one, I might actually take this and guillotine it off and come in from the edge. It just breaks up that outer line on there. But on dimensionals, I think we would be okay. Let me just grab some and see. So dimensionals are going to go on the back of all of these. So 1, 2, and 3. So that's raised up. So that would sit upwards a bit, so that's okay. Let's get them on all 3 of them. There. And there. And remember, this is all from 1 6-inch piece. So you can make 3. If these are cards, then you could have your matte layer a little bit bigger, or you've got more white space around the outside. So it's going there, and that one's going to go on. That will, I will leave that where it is. So, and I'm going to embellish it from there. Okay, pop them in the bin. This morning, my craft room was nice and tidy, so tidy, because I had was 12 of us here yesterday, and we had another table behind me, and it was a really good day. And the room was cleaned. I cleaned down the room. I was, you know, got everything nice and set up, ready, all the chairs out, everything. And then when they'd gone, I put everything away. So this morning, absolutely spotless. It was lovely. And if you could see it now, I've been back to my tacks on the other side. I've got a laptop, I've got binders and another pile of papers, and then I've got an order down the bottom there I was checking over, and I've got my crafting bit. So all in all, I'm kind of filling the space. So what I was doing there was just using my knuckle just to go into the center of that flower. Okay, I like to give it a little bit of dimension, but because the greeting is on Stampin' Dimensionals, I'm just going to put some Tombow on there and sit that in there. Now, if you want to use something to just press that in on the middle, I use my Tombow. So you probably can't see that very well. So my Tombow is just going in the center. Could bring you in a little bit more actually, couldn't I, on the camera? There you go. And then this one the same. I'll just give a little bit of shape to all of them. And then I just adhere it on the bottom. Like so. Wherever you'd naturally like to put them. I think I might put that one that end. And again, use the Tombow just to hold it in place. A little bit of a wiggle on a circle. And then this little one can come down the bottom. I know I'm talking you through this, but really that's not really a complicated card at all, is it? It's, I don't want to use that one because it's too big to get in there. So it's a stamp that does punches out 3 in a go, all in ones. A few flowers punched, die cut those greetings, and you're away. Okay, you could put some embellishments on there as well. I'm just going to pop this one down first. This word is shorter, so I've got more white space at the ends. Oh, bless you. Ah, yeah, you'll love those papers, you really will. So this one I'm going to pop down the bottom. I don't want to have it in the middle. I'll put it down the side here. I'll keep it inside the papers. And then these, like I did with the last one, these are the ones with the glimmer on, the Wink of Stella. I'm going to cover some of that white space. Okay, so I'm going to work on that one with the Wink of Stella, the Tombow. And then the other two, just shaped in my knuckle. Dot of Tombow. Oh, I'm off the camera again, aren't I? You can't see me. I seem to be leaning right over the table to get in camera tonight, sorry. Okay, so literally Wink of Stella into the corner there. And again, I like the little one or one of them up the other end of your sentiment. Okay. And again, that could sit on the corner there. Okay, so we're leaving those to dry as we go. And then this one, the last one, I'm just trying to do them all differently positioned. Take off those backs. There we go. Pop that across. Done a top, we've done to the side. Let's keep this one on the bottom. So we are actually white on the greetings here. And then the decoration. So we'll put that one down the bottom corner, the biggest one. Are you following along? I think I'm going to stick that one in the corner there because I like that on the join. tack that one underneath. It's just trial and error where you see where you like them. Let's press that one in there. And little tiddy one will come up there. Anchoring that one down. There we go. So there's our 3 cards. So there were the two top panels and the bottom panel. Move them around like that so that you can see them all sat in together. Now the only thing extra that I would do on that one, inky piece of paper out of the way, is some gems. So I get my carton of gems over, and I think because the paper is really busy, I think I need to. Sparkles? I don't think I'm going to sparkle. I think I'm going to use the pearls with this one. Because these the Stampin' Up! The white note cards and envelopes are kind of an off-white, I'm going to use some pearls and just dot them around. Or maybe have the odd one on the papers. Well, one there seems to have moved, so he can come out there. There's 3 little ones on there. Okay. If you really wanted to, you could pop one of the big ones in the centre of that flower. Oh, that might look actually nice, one on each. Being a bit extravagant with the pearls. Come on. So that one's got 1 in each. So see how we like that one. How does that? I've gone off the top now. Look, I've come in too far. How does that look with the pet gems on there? There we go, that's that one. Zoom you out again now, look. See all 3 of them in the same screen. One in the centre. I like these actually, with the pearls in the centre. You can put 1 each of the 3 different sizes in the flowers. They work nicely. And then you don't really need them on the background. There's the second one. Just one, the large, medium and the small on there. And then this one as well, the same. Oops, he's alive. Stuck to me. There we go, and a medium. Oh, I'm loving these. Do look good. There we go. Now that is 1 sheet of card of DSP. Okay, I'll bring those there for you. So 1 sheet of DSP has made those 3 cards, and with some note cards and envelopes, you get 20 of those in a packet. So you can soon use up your 20 note cards quite quickly, and that's just 3. So that's 3, 7, 21. So 7 sheets of paper and a pack of note cards would give you 20 cards easily. And that's just one layout. I do lots of different ones. So there will be more coming up, and I will be doing the 4 different ones that make up one whole 12 by 12 sheet. Okay, so I will pop a photo of those up in a sec. So I'm just going to bring you back to me and say thank you for joining me. And sorry about the Facebook side and having to start a little bit later as well. So I just had to postpone that because of other things going on. Okay, so I will be back. If you're interested in any of those and you'd like to place an order, then please give me a shout. Celebration every £45 here in the UK. Every £45 you get to choose a celebration item as well. So it's good to stock up, and if you want to place one order maybe this month and one next month, that just spreads the cost out and you can get 2 free gifts. Okay, 1 each month. Okay, so I will see you again on Wednesday. Wednesday is the 25th. Now Wednesday is Burns night. You are probably going to have a recorded video on Wednesday because we have guests for dinner on Wednesday night. So I will put a note up about that the day before to remind people, and I will record a video and it will go live at my allotted time, so at 9 o'clock. Okay, so you've got something to watch instead. Okay, but I will be back on Sunday as promised with the bubble wrap technique. probably do the video on that as well. Okay, so you'll have a couple of different options, because Monday is National Bubble Appreciation Day, Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day. Okay, so we'll talk about that more on Sunday. But for now, I will say cheerio, have a good week, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.